All right, good evening, everybody. Hopefully you all can hear me. We're going to go ahead and get started. We'll probably have a couple more people that are going to trickle in for our webinar, but hopefully they'll catch up. If you have any questions at all during our webinar, there is a chat section on the there's a button for it on the right hand side of your screen. If you're on your cell phone, I have no idea what it looks like, but there's a chat section. You can type in your question there and we will get to it. Certainly, if not, you're more than welcome to wait until the end of the webinar, and we'll have a section for questions there as well where you can unmute yourself and ask or type it, either way. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So thank you all for being here this evening. We appreciate you signing up to be reporters. Of course, and funny part of our PowerPoint that you see there is it's true. We model a fake legislative process, but the news that you all cover is real news. So we will be going over your role, expectation, and what to do as reporters and whatnot. So hopefully this will give you a better idea. And if some of you have done it before, including your editor-in-chief that's on here, and we'll talk about him in a minute. But so we appreciate those that are coming back, and welcome to all those that are first years at NGA. So as I was mentioning, this is pretty much what we're going to be covering this evening, or this afternoon, whichever one you want to call it. But we'll be going through pretty much your entire role and hitting some highlighted points up there as well. First of all, we want to introduce our media coordinators. Yes, I totally found some very hilarious, what I thought, photos of them. Though the one to the right of Grayson's not actually him. That is our mascot for MGA, Mr. Finn Davies, who is Sharon's baby's son. So he is a very cute toddler. But you've got Megan Garrett and Grayson Paytas, who both graduated from Randolph Henry High School. Both are MGA alum as well. Megan, this is her second year being the media coordinators, both of whom I do not think are on the call. They are college students, so they're probably in class or whatnot. So hopefully they will join us, unless one of you is the caller. If so, feel free to unmute yourself and say something. I don't think. Nope. Okay. Second one is the second introduction is going to be our editor-in-chief. We created this position this year because, one, it's a lot for one media coordinator to handle, but we happen to have enough for two. There's a lot of duties for one person to handle, so we actually have two coordinators this year and an appointed officer position, which is the first year we've had an editor-in-chief at all for our MGA session at all. So for our MGA reporter program, this is our first year. It's having editor-in-chief, and our first editor-in-chief ever is Mr. Jackson Aldridge from Faith Christian School. He was a reporter last year. He attended the Conference on National Affairs, was a reporter there. So welcome him to, of course, being the new EIC. Jackson, did you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and say something? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jackson Aldridge, as Spencer said, and I'm kind of in shock. I don't know where you got this picture from. This is really, I was not ready for that. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna be the editor-in-chief this year, so I'll be kind of in charge of you guys a little bit. I'll be editing your articles, helping you come up with ideas, things like that. And so this is all new, so there might be little bumps in the road, but we'll figure it out. It'll be good. I'm really excited about it. So
good deal. Well, we appreciate it. I know Megan's on the call. She says she's having a hard time unmuting herself.
I think I got it.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes. Oh, champion. Hey guys, I'm Megan. I'm one of the helpers for this. So one of the media coordinators for you guys. Just wanted to introduce myself.
Well, appreciate that, Megan and Jackson. So Megan and Jackson are going to be your point of contacts to help you prep. Of course, Jackson's going to be working in tandem with Megan to help prep you all and get everything done at MGA. They have, of course, they're pretty much in charge of you all the entire time there. And of course, your head reporter is Jackson as the editor-in-chief. So he'll be pretty much helping Megan and Grayson out to pretty much make sure you're all on task and to help finalize everything that you all need to get done. So that is their jobs, and they'll be working with you. I did not introduce myself because I do not have a page. For one, this is everybody that is going to be in the media program this year. There's a lot of you. It grew very fast. I believe last year there was 15. This year it's almost 30. So, you know, it grew about twice the size, which is wonderful. So Megan, Jackson, and Grayson, you have a big role on your hands here this year. But my name's Spencer Snyder. I'm the program director for the Virginia Y. Been doing this, I think this is my 9th year. I don't know, something like that. But the person who's doing a lot longer than me is Sharon Davies. She's our executive director who's also on here. So
Unmuted.
I'd like to say hello in a few words.
Hi, we appreciate you all taking the chance on being reporters this year. It's a really fun role to do. So we're excited to see all of the fun stuff that you guys come up with at MGA.
Yeah, we are super excited to read the articles that you write. A lot of them are very interesting. We do read them, though we personally may not have the time at MGA to read a bunch of them because we are in 500 different directions at that time because both of us are in charge of MGA. But we do, when we get back, pretty much read, at least I did, I read all of the articles, and there's a lot of them very interesting. So we're excited to see what you all come up with. So some of the purpose and expectations for you all. One is, you know, your role pretty much as a reporter is you are the center of communication at MGA. There's a lot that happens at MGA. There are 4 different chambers. There's the underclassmen program. There's, of course, you all, the lobbyist program. So 20 different committees that also happen. So there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot of things that happen all at once. So it's hard to keep track of everything and really know about all that happens at MGA. And so you all as reporters, that is what you're tasked with, is to inform everybody about what is going on at MGA and what are the different aspects of MGA that people may not know, or what are the hot topics. Because a lot of times if you're a senator and delegate sitting in the chambers, you may not necessarily know what's going on in the opposite chamber or what's going on another team. So you all are how we really gather all of this information. So we look forward to what you write, but that's what you are. You're the center of communication. You report on all things pretty much MGA. Your articles will be going up on a blog. We might be able to do a hard copy print. They'll be going up on social media and whatnot. So one of the things that we also want you to do is take pictures, especially there should be a picture for every article that you have. So every article that you post, you should write one. Be creative, of course. There's many topics that you will have gotten. I'll talk about this a little bit later, but what your editor-in-chief has created are some topics that they would like you to cover for MGA. So take a look at those. You should have gotten those already. If not, email Jackson or Megan or Grayson. They'll be able to get that information to you. Of course, one of the ways you're going to be able to communicate with everybody between now and MGA is, and at MGA especially, is a GroupMe. And in the GroupMe, pretty much it's just a communication group app, a group chat type application. So you all will be able to communicate with everybody there, especially your editor-in-chief and your 2 media coordinators. You have several meetings throughout the day, several article writing sessions, or several reporting sessions, and strategy meetings and whatnot. So we expect you all to be there, be on time. You actually have an 8:15 meeting every morning, and you have a meeting at night as well at the hotel, along with several strategy meetings. So we expect you to make sure that you are there at your reporting sessions on time. Attendance is taken, and if you're not there, it's a problem, and a problem we'll have to address. So just make sure that you're there. This year, there's a minimum of 3 stories that you have to write. One of them will have been written before MGA, which Megan has already emailed you all about. And then, so you'll be working on that between now and MGA. Of course, you'll submit your final there. Megan will give you a deadline either before MGA or at MGA, in which case they'll start working on final drafts for that, so they can go ahead and post all of your articles for that. If you are writing an article, well, all of you are writing an article right now, so if you need to do any type of interviews or anything like that to include into your article, you can do so. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do them until MGA, so you should have most of it written or at least outlined, in which case, if you need to wait, contact Jackson, Megan, or Grayson to kind of get the thumbs up that you can hold off on the rest of your article until MGA. But you should have most of it done by the time you get there. So here's your schedule for MGA. There, it kind of shows you the different reporting sessions. Your headquarters at MGA is going to be room 005. So rooms E005 in the Pocahontas building. Pocahontas building is our, I believe that is your room. It might actually be a different room now that I think about it. But you'll be housed in the Pocahontas building and headquarters. And I'm double checking your room. Yep, it's E005. So E005 is going to be your HQ. There'll be some computers in there, but if you have a laptop, bring a laptop if you can. If you have one, so that way you can sit down there and kind of do work on your own computer, as Megan also mentioned before in an email. So bring that if you can, but Pocahontas room E005 is going to be your pretty much headquarters. That's where you'll all be housed for the duration of MGA. Also, I just saw Sharon post that question. There is a press conference to note that. Apparently, I forgot to update that. So, press conference room on this forum says Capitol House Room 2. It has moved. That is also in the Pocahontas building in an actual press conference room. You all will be creating questions and reporting on the Youth Governors Conference. So you all will be there at the Youth Governors Conference to ask questions and whatnot and write articles on the press conference. So you all would be, everyone would be there. It's in Pocahontas room E009. So E9 is what room the Youth Governors Conference is in. So as I mentioned before, Jackson has created a story idea list. We kind of expanded on it and sent it out to you. These are just a couple of brief ones to include. There is, these are just a couple of brief ones. There is a lot more on the list, so take a look at the list, but these are just some of the ideas. These are also some of the ideas you should be selecting from to create your first articles as well. If you have an idea outside of what's on the list, run it by Jackson, Megan, or Grayson and kind of get the final thumbs up for that if it's not on the list, which you should all be sending your ideas for approval first anyways to them, because we don't need multiple articles on the same thing, which is why you need to get it approved by them ahead of time. So again, talked about your first assignment. Should be picking a topic, emailing it to Megan or Grayson and Jackson to kind of get the final approval on that. Write the article. Include sources. If you write sources, you need to include them. In the student guide, it lists what you should, pretty much how to do sources and how to include them. So when you look up or do research for your articles, the student guide tells you how to do that underneath the reporter section. Megan has also submitted to you all a how to write an article guide. So take a look at that. If you don't have it, email one of them. Send your edited version to them by when they tell you. And then last but not least, make sure you have photos to help. Obviously, before MGA, it's going to be a little bit harder to have photos, but if you can get one, that would be great. That would be awesome. Megan, I know you had mentioned something on this already. So, Megan, did you want to talk about GroupMe and kind of say it out loud because I saw you said something?
Yeah, so if you all could just text me with your name, I'll add you directly to the GroupMe. I added some of you already, but I put my number right here in the messaging thing, so you can just text me real quick with your name and I'll add you straight to the GroupMe so that we can start communicating through there. Because if you have questions, odds are someone else has a question about it too, so you can just ask it right in there.
Yeah, good deal. Thank you. So yes, please do that. You should all be in the GroupMe. It is the way to communicate, and it helps Megan and Jackson and Grayson kind of keep up with everybody as well. So make sure you join that. Some of the documents that we've talked about are also on the app. The app is this lovely green or teal, whatever Sharon wants to call it. So it's this lovely teal icon over here is what I'm going to call it. Underneath of it is the URL to download the app. Of course, you can find it in Apple Store and Google Play as well. So you can download the app through there. I highly recommend downloading this. You'll be able to get a lot of documents, including the list of where senators and delegates are seated, so you can pull them out of chambers if you need to, which you have full authority to do.
Hey, Spencer, can I say something about the app real fast?
Absolutely.
It's much easier for you to go to that URL on your phone to download it, because if you just download Yap, then you have to go through a bunch of hoops to find our app. So the easiest way to get it is from your smartphone or your tablet. Copy that URL, put it in your browser, and it will download the app for you.
Yes, very true. I personally can attest to that. So just to go back real quick, another quick kind of topic I forgot to talk about earlier underneath expectations. When you're writing your articles, you should be pulling in some sources to kind of help with your article as well. And so take a look at the student guide, which is also on the app. But if you're going to interview somebody like a senator, a delegate, or somebody on a topic, you can pull them out of chambers and out of committee if you want to talk to them. Chambers is probably better to pull somebody out and just wait after committee is done to talk to somebody, but chambers you can pull somebody out. Basically, all you need to do is write the request on a sticky note or something, put the name of the person you want it to go to and the seat number, hand it to the college staff member that's inside of the door, and then you can pull somebody, request to pull somebody out of chambers to interview them. And I don't think anybody's ever denied an interview, so by all means, you are more than welcome to do that, and we saw a bunch of that last year, which was great. Items to bring. Don't forget to, of course, bring your MGA items that you have, so anything like your bill books and whatnot. Bring a computer if you can. If you want to bring a camera, you can do so as well, but most cell phones, if you've got a smartphone, most of them take pretty good pictures nowadays. Bring something to write on, again, because if you need to pass a note to somebody to request an interview, you can do so. If you want to bring a recorder or just use your cell phone to record, so that way you can go back and take more notes on an interview that you do with someone, by all means, please do so. Make sure you bring chargers, because you're going to be using technology a lot. And yeah, pretty much come with a good work ethic. Be ready to hustle at MGA to get all the things that you need to get done. Anybody have any questions? I see there's maybe a couple in here. So no, there is not a way to download the presentation, but we will have a recording of the webinar afterwards.
I'd just like to remind everyone real quick, if you could just send me your ideas for topics. I've been giving pretty good feedback on everybody's topics that they've given me. So if you give me just your initial idea for a topic, we can go through and give you some feedback so you can go ahead and start writing those articles.
Can I make a quick suggestion, Spencer and Megan and Jackson? It might be nice if you could create like a Google Doc of some sort with topics on it so that people can see what other people are doing so they're not emailing you the same ideas.
I'll be right on that. I have an Excel sheet right now with everybody who's already emailed me, so I'll just put that into a Google Doc.
That would be perfect. Thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions? If you do, you can type them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask. You're more than welcome to do so.
So how do we how do we write an article on something when if we haven't been there before?
Well, some article ideas that we've already gotten are some topics like maybe about the different positions and things, so they can make an outline about what those positions do according to the MGA website and everything. Also, we've had some hot button topics that people have submitted, so that you can go ahead and write an article about that topic and then get people's opinions when you get to MGA and see what the students believe at MGA and how they feel about it. So you don't necessarily have to just base all of your articles off of interviews from MGA. You can choose topics and then add MGA interviews in later.
Yeah, I would say that also your bill book that you should have received by now would be a good source to find article ideas too.
If we didn't get a bill book, where would we be able to find that?
Ask that question one more time.
If we did not get a bill book, where would we be able to find that? Would it be online anywhere? Would it be in the app?
Oh, yes. So no, it's not online or on the app. Your advisor probably has your bill book. So if you want to if you need your bill book to write an article or something, by all means request your bill book from your advisor who has it. And then if they are wanting to hold on to it, which some of them try to do, so that way students don't lose them, you can, of course, say something to Megan or one of us, and we'll request that they give it to you so you can get started on your pre-work. Megan, I don't know if Grayson's on here, but Megan, if Grayson's up here, or Jackson, do you have any final things that you want to mention or say?
I know you said this already, but if you don't have a laptop, I would try and see if you could borrow one from somebody or something, because it's really helpful to have a laptop while you're there, because you're kind of on the go a lot of the time. And so you might be one place and you need to write something real quick, or another place. So it's really helpful to have your own computer.
Yeah, I know some girl last year borrowed her parents. And so you can just ask your parents before you come if you don't have a laptop, and ask to borrow theirs. If not, we'll try to accommodate you, but we really encourage you to try to borrow one or bring one if you can. I would just encourage all of you to please read the email I just sent out. And if you didn't get it, you all have my number now. You can just text me if you didn't get my email. But it was the email I sent a couple of days ago about me creating a Facebook group and different things like that, trying to get the ball rolling on this. So if you have any questions, you can just let us know. But yeah.
Yeah, if you do not have a laptop or computer, or don't have access to one, don't worry. We will try and have some computers there for you, but we are limited to how many that you have. So if you do have access to one, or have access to bring one, even if it's not your personal one, by all means, please do so. So that way, the computers that we do have set up are for those that don't have access to a laptop.
And often your schools have a laptop or tablet or something that you could borrow. I know a lot of schools have them that you can check out, so you could ask there as well.
That is also true. I forgot about that. So I see a couple of questions. So yes, I believe Ariana asked, will you send out what people are writing articles? Which articles? So yeah, Megan was just talking about she's got an Excel sheet of what everyone has. She'll put that into a Word document and send that out to everybody, so you kind of can see who's writing what as well. Carissa just asked, first year going. Well, welcome to your first year, Carissa. I'm worried. What are you extremely nervous? Are there any tips that would be helpful when writing my first article? So, Megan or Garrett, would you like to answer Carissa's question, I'll read it again. Are there any tips that would be helpful with writing my first article? And it's her first year.
Yeah. Well, welcome. But a big tip that I'd have is just I sent out a writing guide. It's sort of just a basic outline of how you need to be structuring your articles. But just kind of follow that. And Jackson, do you have any advice for her, considering you were a reporter last year for your first time?
I guess this might not sound helpful, but don't be afraid to interview someone. Like last year, I ended up sitting in the Capitol building for like an hour talking to the receptionist, and it was really helpful and I learned a lot, but I had no clue what I was getting into. So don't be afraid to talk to somebody you might not be inclined to. Just take chances where you might not normally, and that'll help you a lot.
And also you can write about what you're passionate about too. We had one girl last year wrote about fashion because she wanted to be a designer one day. So she wrote about the fashion styles at MGA and how you can make business attire more fun and things like that. So just find something that you're passionate about, and I can help you incorporate that into the MGA theme. So just, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so Carissa, if you have, or if any of our first years have any questions, or any of your first year, whether it's at MGA or reporter, follow the writing guideline that Megan sent out. Take a look at the student guide. It talks about how to write an article and how to get sources and what to do with sources as well in the student guide underneath the reporter section. So take a look at those two documents. They should help out a lot. But ultimately, if you're writing an article and you're unsure, write it the best way that you can and send a rough draft to either Jackson or Megan or somebody, and that way they can look at it for you and kind of give you suggestions on feedback. So don't feel like, I mean, besides it's kind of what Jackson and all of them are there for anyways, is to make sure, you know, they're there to help you write your articles as well. So if you've got any questions on how to write it as well, or you just want to send them a rough draft, they can give you feedback as well to help you. So don't be afraid to utilize them as well. Have any other questions, comments, concerns? Less concerns, but more comments and questions.
And if you guys have any questions that you don't feel like asking on the webinar, or you just think of some later, you're welcome to email me or Jackson or Grayson, or all three of us even, or even just text me with a question if you have one, or put it in the group me. Just either way, don't hesitate to ask your questions because we'd love to answer them. That's what we're here for.
And Jackson, you can blame your hour interview with Barbara, the receptionist, on Sharon. That's her fault.
That is very true. I'm putting my number in the chat right now if you want that too. So
There you go. All right, I don't believe there are any more, but if y'all want to grab the Jackson's number, if you needed to ask him any questions, of course, you can also ask questions in the group me and whatnot for it. Granted, I'm in the group me as well, though I will not be as active, so unless it's some major question, I will probably not. I probably won't be answering. It'll be Megan or Jackson or somebody, but if it's a major question, of course, I'm available to them and they can ask me as well. So if they don't know, I'll hopefully know, and if I don't know, there's no answer. That's pretty much how that line goes. But anyways, so we appreciate you all being reporters. Again, we don't want you to be freaked out in any way about writing your first article, especially if it's your first year. If you've got any questions, just ask. That's what we're all here for, is to help you guys out and for you all to have a good MGA. By writing this first article, it leaves you a lot more time at MGA to really dive into a major topic and utilize that time the best that you can, because then at that point you'll only have 2 articles to write at MGA, which sounds like very little, but it can take a lot to gather all of the information that you need on a topic at MGA, because there's so much that happens, and things can, especially if it's on a build topic, things can change really quickly. Yeah, if you've got any questions, ask, and we appreciate you again coming to MGA. Welcome first years. Thank you all those are returning, and have a great time. We are what I'm trying to remember what day it is. We are less than 3 weeks out, so we're about 2 weeks out now, which is awesome. Yeah, we're I think 3 weeks out or 2 weeks out from MGA right now, so it is getting closer. So get started on your articles, and we will see you all at MGA.